Okay, good afternoon. This is the video on your little Suzuki 90. Got the carb pulled out, and I just wanted to show you what's happening with respect to the fuel in the petcock, in the gas tank, because this is what has come out of the carburetor. So I'm just going to turn the petcock on and see. I need a piece of wood here. Maybe this. No, here we go. Maybe. Okay, perfect. I'm going to put that right there. Put this on top. I've only got one hand, the other has to hold the camera. So I'm going to turn the petcock on and we'll see what kind of fuel comes out of there. So that doesn't look too bad in the on position. Right? All right, but here we are in the on position. I'm sure you can see that. And when I turn this to what I'm assuming would be the stop position, fuel is kind of stopped coming out. But the problem with the petcock position is in the reserve position, the actual tank itself prevents the petcock from actually getting to its position to get the fuel to flow. So I actually can't quite check the content of what's in or what's coming out of the petcock because of this. Now, normally we would just be able to rotate, right? Like just turn it in a way that this lever would not be caught by the gas tank, but physically it is. Partly what I'm thinking is this petcock potentially is put on the wrong way. I'm not entirely sure, but as you can see, this one cannot be rotated, and as a result, the lever could only find two positions, and the third position is clearly blocked. So no fuel in this position. No fuel in that position, and we'll go, and that's as far as we can go in this direction, right? So we can only go here. Oh, wait a second. We got fuel. Hey! That's barely enough. And it looks relatively clean. All right, we're gonna... All right, so we're going to put that in the closed position. I hope that's the closed position. And I'm just going to leave that there. Okay, let's head over to your carburetor. Here it is. And I'm just going to put the camera in the mount because I need both hands to show you what I'm going to show you. All right. Whoops. Sorry. I'm not much of a cameraman. All right. I've only got one glove on. Don't call me Michael Jackson. All right. There is the carburetor. This is my carb kit. Get some goodies out of here for you. What do we have here? Where's my 90? There it is. All right, so here's the carb. I'm just going to zoom in here a bunch. Yeah, look at that, baby. All right, so let's remove this float. Just push that pin out of there. And overall, the float's looking pretty good in my opinion. What we really want to check for on the float is right here on the actual float surface itself. Focus on the float surface itself. These are just little copper balloons, and if it's cracked anywhere around that white seam, then predictably we should be able to see it. Potentially there may be one right there. If you can see that. But overall, the float's not looking bad. Really, the test to a float is to see if it floats. We'll check that a little bit later, but this is looking good. When I took the float bowl off of the carburetor, this is what we found inside, which is really not good. It's not terrible. I've definitely seen worse. This will clean up nicely. This really just looks like whatever's in the gas tank is making its way into the carburetor. We'll clean all this out, and this should come back nicely. The one passage that we want to be really conscientious of is this one here. It goes down in here and comes out right there in this little hole here. We want to make sure that this passageway is clean. Sometimes we have to introduce heat because that passageway, if you can imagine, from in there to here, it goes down this line and comes up this line, which basically is the other side right there, right? So we'll introduce a little bit of heat right here, and that will melt whatever's stuck in there to come bubbling out of the inside and clear up that passage to make this side of the carburetor work properly. Anyway, this is no major concern. Just want to show that to you. Okay, next to the float. It's going to back out a little. Oops, back out a little. Let's focus is a little intense. Ugh. All right. This next piece is the needle float, or the float needle, and that's this little guy right here. And you might notice that there's a little bit of a spring on here, and that's working nicely. That's really good, actually. Pull that guy out. You can have a look at it. It's teeny tiny. Just to give you an idea. Just to give you an idea how small that little needle is. There it is on top of a 25-cent piece. So you can really see that this is a tiny little guy. And the most important part of this particular, they call this a jet, but it's really a needle, is the tip. If that tip has got a small ring around it, then we know that this is probably leaking. And of course, the other important part of it is the spring on this end, which I showed you earlier, works really well. So this is of no major concern. If this is leaking, it's mainly because of whatever's in the gas tank is making its way into the carburetor and holding this little jet open, and fuel is able to flow right past it. But you're not experiencing that. What you're experiencing is kind of the opposite. The bike kind of runs out of gas. And sincerely, I think the reason you're running out of gas is because of that silly petcock. All right. Now, moving right along, we're going to take the needle seat out of there. And of course, I don't have any of the right wrenches because being a cameraman, I come prepared. That's the name of the game. Pull this guy out of here. All right, we're looking good here on this jet. It's dirty, but it's not filthy. You know what I mean? Like, this is definitely usable. So, yeah, I've seen better, but it's not bad. Okay, next is going to be the main. This guy is not coming out of there with this 6 mil. Okay, there's a nice 6 mil made by the guys at Mac. Thank you, Mac Tools. Spin this little guy out of here. Come on. It's a flat washer. Okay, here is where we're experiencing some problems on your main jet. Now this is, oops, where is the camera? Okay, here we are. So this is the underside right here, and you can see that there is a ton of schmutz. Oh boy, yeah, okay. Gross. Okay, so, Okay, let's see if we can get that jet to come out of there. Not that guy. This guy, nice and clean. Go from the other side. Nope. It's definitely got to come out that way. I think there is a flat washer here. Oh my God, look at the dirt that's on there. Okay, that's as close as my camera could zoom in. But I just want to illustrate to you just how bad this, oh boy. I'm doing this very lightly. There's not a lot of force here, but okay. All this is all got to be cleaned out. Let me get something to push on there without ruining it, because it's a pretty delicate surface. We don't want to hurt it. So we're going to try this socket. This is a 5 mil. Okay, and this one is also a 5, but it's very slim. Ugh. That is not coming out of there easily. Music you're listening to is Madonna. This is off of one of her albums, one of her many albums. It's called Confessions of a Dance Floor. Okay, needle's coming out. I'm not going to go too far with the hammer because this little brass locator, if I push this out of position, it can sometimes be tricky to push it back. So now that we've got it sort of started, I'm going to back out because focus is really bad. Now that I've got it started, I can push with a screwdriver. Yep, there it goes. Okay, pops right out. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, we have found one of the this is so gross. Come on out of there. Yeah, I'd be reluctant to come out if I was looking like you too, buddy. Wow. Oh boy, this is bad. Okay, there it is. It's out. Oh my goodness. Okay, if you've got a tender tummy, you might want to fast forward or, oh boy, avert your eyes. This is your main jet. Oh my goodness. That is just, ew. Okay. Oh, look at the, oh, okay, that's enough. That's enough. Oh boy, I got to go sit down. Kidding. All right, so that's kind of everything that happens in the float bowl area. Interestingly enough, with this particular carb, there is a air fuel mix jet right here, which kind of surprises me that it would be right here because it's nearly impossible to access with the air box and everything all on top of it. I guess one would think that you would set it and forget it. At least that's what it's suggesting. This is a blunt tip, so it doesn't have a ton of discretion. Let's hope that the tip is not broken off inside there. Spring is kind of stuck. Oh, here it goes. And down inside there is a flat washer. And where are all my hooks gone? Oh, here they are. All right. Is a flat washer with a rubber O-ring, or at least there should be. I can certainly feel the rubber, unless it's more schmutz. But it is not coming out of there. Yeah, maybe what I'm feeling is the smooth bore of the Venturi itself, because it's not coming out of there. Okay, this video is getting really long. Gonna pause there. Anyway, suffice to say, your carb needs to be cleaned. It's going to be. I just got to get all the bits and pieces out of it. What is jingling? Oh, stuff. And get it cleaned up. Okay, more news later.